The spark process begins. I counted from 0 to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Take off. We're going to take off. Hello, this is the coins alert. I don't know how it happened, but the driver's side window of my truck broke and had a crack that kept getting bigger. I have no idea if it was a rock kit or something else, but it got a crack in it, and I had to get it replaced in my yard, which cost a lot of money. I thought about $100, not anymore, but it's done. It's not cracked anymore. Okay, look it over. Let's press the refresh button on the market. We had a Bitcoin. I believe it went up to around 106,000. The price of XRP has been pretty stable for a few days now. It looks like everything is this is what Bitcoin is all about. For those of you who haven't been here during the previous bull runs, remember that everything usually goes in cycles. You'll see, but Bitcoin first worked on its own. Then a lot of the other coins generally follow a few days after that. It's been a lot of that. The great and interesting thing about this market is that we haven't seen a lot of new money. We're not talking about new money that hasn't come in yet. That's going to this space. So everything you've seen is just moving money out of like low cap, high risk cryptos. You never know when you might have them. They might be crazy. The next day, it might be the ones that are more at the heart of the things I like that will be useful and built into the system. Sometimes those surges like XRP happen and then the price goes back to Bitcoin or to joke coins. But it looks like all the majors are just switching places of this stuff. You already know what I think, though. It's about to blow up for XRP. XRP has been pulled back a few times and then collected, but it's still stuck there. This makes me think that we're getting ready to explode, just like Whale Insider says we are. Are you ready? I'm also locked in, just like Brad. Garlinghouse. It's been 2 weeks of steady red outflows of XRP, but Chad Stingraber says that the $2.40 battle line is still in place and ready for an explosive green flood. I believe these guys are in on it. Egrag Crypto's XRP face melting phase running mode. The post looks more closely at XRP over 5 time frames: 1 week, 3 days, 1 day, 8 hours, and 2 hours. I'm going to get to the parts. First, it says that the amount of danger is 220. For negative patterns are still valid. Now the body of the light has to close above 220. Let's get to the fun part as we go down. Come on, let's look around. Analysis of the daily period shows that the daily chart is bullish as F. If the current pattern holds, the next goal could be $8.10 if the current pattern holds, but I think Bitcoin needs to make a big move to 120K to 130K first. Until then, XRP might keep going. Okay, now, I want to bring up a few things that are related to all of these ideas. People, this happens every year. Be careful of it. It's the last day of the year, December 16th. At the end of the year, a lot of people sell on tax. We usually have a dump at the end of the year. What am I going to do now? No, I'm not thinking about those things with my XRP right now. I'll get to that in a moment, but I just wanted to let everyone know about the tax selling that goes on. It's not always as heavy as other times, but we'll see. I have no idea what Molly Elmore is thinking, but you can't tweet things like this on X. You can't even start to say things like this because of the cyber Gestapo. Let's start by showing the tweet she was talking about. SWIFT was created by 239 banks in 1973 to be a unified international transaction and transmission system. The XRP ledger came out in 2012 and will soon be the new international transaction and transmission system. For XRP to work well, it needs to be worth more than $10,000 per function. Molly walks in and says there is an uneven risk to the market value of XRP once big markets like global trade and derivatives use it for useful purposes and store value. A very high value of XRP means that the new financial system doesn't want a liquidity problem. People, let me do it. What do I need to say? The crypto Gestapo cops have sent out an alert warning. Warning, she is about to say something that she isn't supposed to say. If Molly says something, I don't agree with her. I'm not saying I believe what Molly says. Crypto Gestapo, please stay away from me. Okay, just let me show you the tweet. Please forgive me. I still find it funny that all of these grown-ups are trying to be hall monitors and listen to what everyone else is saying to figure out if they're right or wrong and to show how much better I am than them. Can't say that either. Oh, that's awful. That makes me think of that Brady Bunch scene from when I was a kid. It was a Brady Bunch show. Every Brady Bunch TV show had a lesson to be learned from it. Back then, we literally had shows like that. And there was one where I believe Bobby was there. He was given the job of being the school's hall guard, and that's where he ended up. He turned out to be a rat who lied about his friends and all that. No one liked him at school, not even his brothers and sisters who he was telling on them. The story's lesson was that no one likes a rat or a hall watch. Okay. But no matter what, the new banking system doesn't want a liquidity crisis. 100,000 XRP is worth a lot more than that risk. Because of this, you understand why I have no trouble saying 10K. Sure, I don't think it will go there, but I don't mind saying 10K or 100K is either, because I don't think my audience is stupid. I believe they are all smart and can use common sense to figure out what's right. I don't think my audience is stupid. I think they're smart. That's why they're here. And that way, each person can choose for themselves what makes sense and what doesn't. That's not up to me to decide. That's risky and too low. That risk is too high for no reason. One thing they fight with is their own beliefs about scarcity and what that means for what is going to be true. But the people who designed this new system care about a lot more than whether a few small investors make money off of the long, patient road we've been on. I also want to make a point here. I keep an eye on it. I still have 1 Bitcoin. Okay, the rumor is that Trump will issue an executive order to build a Bitcoin strategic reserve when they make the announcement. I'm looking forward to hearing that news. That kind of announcement or something like that is what I'm looking for to send Bitcoin prices through the roof, at least to 120 to 150,000. But when it does, I have, because my Bitcoin is in my iTrust Capital IRA. If you want to open an iTrust, there's a link in the description. They're one of my donors. You can make an account with iTrust Capital. To start an account, I think they give you $100 or $200. There is a link in the text. But I have 1 Bitcoin and an IRN, which lets me move in and out of it without worrying about taxes. That is, if Bitcoin goes up to 120 to 150. If XRP hasn't moved yet, I wouldn't think twice about it. It wouldn't bother me at all to sell my Bitcoin index RP and leave it there for a while to see what happens. Then if Bitcoin, look at Bitcoin. When it comes out of a cycle, it has pulled back by as much as 90% in the past. That means it would be a chance to get a lot more. Thoughts? Where does it go? What do you think the price of Bitcoin will be? In the short term, I think we'll see one of two things. First, prices will stay flat between 110 and 80, and there will be a trough. Second, once the Bitcoin Act is passed, which means that the US government will buy Bitcoin for its own use and for the use of other countries' treasuries, we could see a $500,000 or $1 million Bitcoin. The sky is the limit here. And why? How would it get there? In this way, Bitcoin is naturally a scarce object. There are only 21 million Bitcoins left. For example, the Bitcoin Act wants to buy 200,000 Bitcoins every year. Since there are only so many Bitcoins available, this would make the price go up a lot. What about use cases? This is something I talked about with a guest on an earlier show. Oh no, what about use cases? Oh, there aren't any. Hey, Michael Saylor, as it turns out, he has even more Bitcoin now. And I'd like to take this chance to let you know that I asked Grok about this, and he gave me this percentage. 17.87% of Bitcoin is owned by AI, Satoshi Nakamoto, MicroStrategy, Binance, Coinbase, BlackRock, Grayscale, and the US government. Freedom lovers, this is not your dream. Get up, people. This is a job for the government. Do not mistake. Mary off the nose. She asks, who is Satoshi Nakamoto? Says that none of the guests think Satoshi is who he says he is. I promise it. I've been here for a while. In 2010, he sent out this tweet. He's basically saying the same thing I've been saying the whole time. Small groups of people may have known about Bitcoin and Ethereum and what was going to happen. They likely also knew about a longer-term plan for XRP and used it to their advantage. It was helpful that they had knowledge about the government that the rest of us didn't. Yes, I think there are between a few hundred and 1,000 crypto experts. These are the most important people in crypto. That's the reason they can't talk about Ethgate. We found out what they were talking about, so they can't say any of the things that the XRP army talks about. The puzzle was solved, and everyone thought the game was fixed. It was shown that their game was fixed. We really caught them. This is from David Schwartz.